What do we think of? The daffodils are out. The spring, it's here. And round the corner is Easter. So much history and fascinating stories. Let's take a look. The little lambs are bleating in the fields. Easter time in the spring, such a lovely time of the year. The Easter eggs, Easter bunnies, Easter hares, and of course the lovely special Easter egg hunt that we all loved as children. Does anybody send an Easter card anymore with a lamb or something beautiful on it? In the 19th century, when cards were first sent out, they were really beautiful and people looked forward to receiving these cards. The first Easter cards, which were postcards, were sent out at the end of the 19th century. People loved these cards. They meant things like luck and hope and new life. The Victorians loved Easter cards and would include Easter bunnies, sheep, flowers, eggs, and often young girls on their Easter cards. Easter, we all think of Easter eggs, the Easter bunny, but Easter hare become before the bunny. Easter eggs that started in the 19th century were very elaborate and would come in lovely, beautiful cases like this, and the Easter chocolate would be put inside. Not chocolate like we know it today, a very bitter chocolate, dark chocolate. The first manufacturers were Fry's. They did the first Easter eggs. Here in the UK, it was J.S. Fry and Sons Limited who produced the first chocolate egg back in 1873. The Bristol-based chocolate business was founded by Joseph Fry, a Quaker who had been making chocolate since 1759. Then Cadbury's started making Easter eggs in 1875, and then Rowntree started making their Easter eggs in 1904. Easter was a very religious time for a lot of people. And back in the medieval times, the eggs were very precious and would be saved, and they could not be eaten until Easter Sunday, when they would be coloured and decorated and would be an absolute delight and special. Our medieval ancestors would not have known the joys of eating chocolate eggs like we do. But that's not to say they didn't have fun during the Easter period. There were lots of games that involved using eggs. For instance, there was the egg dancing, a traditional Easter game dating back to the Saxon times, where the eggs were laid on the ground or floor and the goal was to dance among them with damaging as few eggs as possible. There was also egg tossing. The priest would give out hard-boiled egg, which was tossed around the nave of the church, and the choir boy who was holding the egg when the clock struck 12 would get to keep the egg. Queen Victoria and Albert loved Easter, and they loved an Easter hunt. It originated in Germany, and they carried on the tradition, and every year would have a big Easter hunt. The ancient goddess of Easter, Ostara, the Germanic goddess of spring, transforms a bird into a hare, and each year laying eggs for her festival. The Anglo-Saxon name for Easter is Ustra. There are many versions about the Easter hare, but the one that's very popular and most liked is the Easter hare with the coloured eggs in his basket, hiding them, ready for the children to find. Of course, we all think of Easter with Christ, resurrection and rebirth to do with the Easter egg. I am the resurrection and the life. Early Easter eggs were so expensive and so beautiful. We have some in museums today that are preserved. These are the moulds that would have been used, And here we see the ladies hand decorating the eggs during the 1930s. Zuckerhahn are the German sugar bunnies. They go back before our chocolate Easter eggs. In the 18th century, sugar beets became more affordable, and by the 19th century, these little bunnies were made out of sugar pastry and sold at an affordable price in their local confectionery shops. A lot of churches start the Easter Sunday celebrations at midnight on Easter Eve. Candles are lit to start the Easter Day midnight celebrations. In some churches, the service starts in darkness. 12 candles are lit, and these are taken around the rest of the church, lighting all the other candles. There are so many customs and traditions to celebrate Easter. The Royal Monday, the bun ceremony, the widow's charity at St Bartholomew's, the great church in London. There are some that are romantic, charitable, celebrate love and loss, and lots of fun. For over 200 years, a bun has been added every Good Friday to a collection preserved at the tavern. The name and the custom derived from an 18th century widow who hoped that her missing sailor son would eventually come home safely if she continued to save a bun each Easter. The Royal Navy take part in this ceremony every year. It's rather special. In Victorian times, a charity was set up for 21 poor widows to receive a sixpence every year. This took place at the famous Church of St Bartholomew the Great in Smithfield, London. The widows would each in turn take the sixpence off of the tombstone, where the priest would stand and give it to them. Nowadays, there are no sixpences, but instead the local children are given out hot cross buns. We think of Morris dancing in the springtime and really enjoy going and watching them. But during the English Civil War, the Puritans believed them to be the devil's men, these dancers. It was forbidden. In London, on the 19th of May, 1448, 7 shillings, the equivalent of 35 pence, was paid to the Morris dancers for their services, and by the Elizabethan times it was considered an ancient dance. We all love to watch the Morris dancers. It's such great fun over the springtime and Easter. The humble hot cross bun, so many different stories of its origins, but in 1361 in St Albans, at St Albans Abbey, a monk called Thomas Rockcliffe made a bun very similar to our one, but called the Alban bun, was made for the poor. Every Easter he would give out these lovely buns for the poor as a little gift. The cross on a hot cross bun is the cross of Christ. The spices in the buns are the spices that signify the ones that were used to embalm Jesus. The humble hot cross bun. You wouldn't think that it has superstition and lots of stories attached to it, but it does. In 1592, Queen Elizabeth I banned the bun. You could only have the hot cross bun at Christmas, Easter, or for a funeral. The rest of the year it was forbidden because the hot cross bun was too precious and the superstition was very big. Queen Elizabeth I made it quite clear that if you sold the buns or made them in your own home at any time other than Christmas, Easter, or for a funeral, and you were found out, you would have to give all your bread to the poor as a punishment. Hot cross buns were considered very special and also good luck and healing. If you were a sailor and you took a hot cross bun on your voyage, this was good luck and you would not be in a shipwreck. if you hung a hot cross bun on the ceiling in your kitchen, all your bread would be perfect and it would ward off evil spirits and be a good luck omen. If you share a hot cross bun, you break it and 2 people share it. Those 2 people will be really good friends and have a good relationship for the following year. For you and half for me, between us 2, good luck shall be. We all love a piece of Simnel cake at Easter, and it makes a lovely display in the centre of the table. It goes back to medieval times. The little marzipan balls that we put on top are always 11 in number because they represent the 11 apostles, minus Judas. It's a lovely cake with lots of flavour, and it has been with us for so long. This is what a medieval Simnel cake would have looked like. And they were originally a Mothering Sunday tradition where young girls in service would make one to take home to their mother on their day off. The word Simnel means wheaten flour. In 1290, Edward I had 450 eggs decorated in gold leaf to hand out to his court, a very expensive way to decorate your Easter eggs. In the 16th century, the priest Martin Luther organised a big Easter egg hunt for his congregation. Easter is a fun festival for all to enjoy, whether you are having an extravagant one or a simple lunch with your friends and family. I hope you've enjoyed this Easter special edition. We certainly enjoyed filming it. It's so interesting, all these stories, and especially those beautiful little lambs. All I have to say is Happy Easter, everybody.